All rise, veuillez vous lever.
Doesn't work. Okay. Excellencies, on the 9th of March, 2012, 5 newly elected judges came to this court to make their solemn undertakings. One of those judges was Anthony Carmona of Trinidad and Tobago. Earlier this year, shortly after the presidency had decided to call him to the full-time service, he was elected to become the 5th president of his home country and therefore stood down as an ICC judge. In order to fill the vacancy, the Assembly of States Parties last month elected Justice Geoffrey Andrew Henderson, also of Trinidad and Tobago. The court's 18 judges reflect the extraordinary diversity of the states parties to the Rome Statute. They come from all the major regions of the world, embodying a rich variety of cultures, languages, and legal traditions. Judge Henderson fits perfectly into this group as a highly qualified professional with extensive experience in the field of criminal law as Director of Public Prosecutions before the High Court of Trinidad and Tobago from 2002 to 2008, and subsequently as a High Court Judge of the Supreme Court of Trinidad and Tobago since 2009. Excellencies, we are assembled today in the ICC's main courtroom because the Rome Statute requires our judges, like our prosecutor, registrar, and their deputies, to make their solemn undertakings in open court. I would also like to add, for those who may not be aware of it, that this courtroom is named after Arthur Robinson, the 3rd president of Trinidad and Tobago, whose proposal to the United Nations General Assembly in 1989 to create an international criminal court triggered the process which eventually led to the adoption of the Rome Statute. So in this special and on this occasion particularly appropriate place, I invite you to join me in welcoming Judge Geoffrey Henderson, who in a few months will be formally sworn in as a judge in a few moments, will be sworn in as a judge of the ICC. As we do so, I would also like to pay tribute again to President Carmona for his unwavering and continuous support for the court. The responsibilities of a judge are onerous and require an exceptionally strong personal commitment. This is embodied in the solemn undertaking which we all make. Excellencies, pursuant to Article 45 of the Rome Statute of the Court, before taking up their duties, judges must make in an open court a solemn undertaking to exercise their functions impartially and conscientiously. The President of the Assembly of States Parties will witness the making of the solemn undertaking. The judges, the deputy prosecutor, and the registrar are also in attendance. Before the solemn undertaking, I invite the President of the Assembly of States Parties to report on the election of Judge Henderson. Please.
Mr. President, honorable judges, Mr. Deputy Prosecutor, Mr. Registrar, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to represent the Assembly of States Parties at today's ceremony. States Parties established the court through the adoption of the Rome Statute in 1998. The statute reflects our determination to put an end to impunity for the most serious crimes. We now stand in the second decade of the life of the court. During its first 11 years, the court has made significant strides. It has consolidated its institutions. It is carrying out investigations, conducting trials, fully respecting the rights of the accused in accordance with the statute and international standards, as well as ensuring the right of victims to participate in the proceedings. It has rendered verdicts, and the appeals judgment of its first conviction is expected. There is also the possibility of the first order of reparations in this first case. The regime of victims' participation in the proceedings of the court provided by the Rome Statute is being applied, leading to numerous applications by victims which are, by their numbers, an indicator of the success of the court. Nevertheless, we all know that the court continues to face challenges, especially in the areas of cooperation and non-cooperation. And the court's challenges are indeed our challenges. While the court continues to gain acceptance, which is attested by the fact that there are now 122 states parties, and significant progress has been made towards the goal of universality, the lack of strong and effective political and operational support in some quarters continues to pose challenges. This state of affairs is all the more regrettable since in the second decade of the 21st century, the most atrocious crimes continue to be committed in many parts of the world. The court's institutional reputation and its place in the international system are contingent upon states' ability to support it to deliver justice with all the guarantees of fair trial in accordance with the Rome Statute. It is our collective responsibility to ensure that the court discharges its important role and to ensure that the Rome Statute system as a whole functions to hold perpetrators accountable and to deliver justice to victims. While the court is based in The Hague, its impact is felt around the world. Mr. President, on 23rd of November, the Assembly elected Mr. Geoffrey Andrew Henderson as judge of the International Criminal Court in accordance with the relevant provisions of the Rome Statute and of Resolution ICC ASP 3, Resolution 6. Mr. Henderson, you have been elected by states parties because you meet the highest standards in the area of international criminal justice and you possess the qualifications required in your state for appointment to the highest judicial office. You are called upon to apply the law and the spirit of the Rome Statute, to perform with full independence and thus fulfill the role entrusted to you by states parties for the benefit of the international community as a whole. On behalf of the Assembly of States Parties, I welcome you to the bench of the court, and I know that you will earnestly assume your role and meet the challenges that may arise. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We will now proceed with the solemn undertaking. I invite Mr. Geoffrey Henderson to step forward to take the oath. And I invite the President of the Assembly of States Parties to oversee the solemn undertaking.
I, Geoffrey Andrew Henderson, solemnly undertake that I will perform my duties and exercise my powers as a judge of the International Criminal Court honorably, faithfully, impartially, and conscientiously, and that I will respect the confidentiality of the investigations and prosecutions and the secrecy of deliberations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The solemn undertaking of one judge of the International Criminal Court has hereby been concluded in accordance with Article 45 of the Rome Statute. The ceremony is hereby adjourned. I invite all attendees to join us for a reception in the lobby downstairs.
All rise, veuillez vous lever.